What up? What up? What up? Ladies and gents, boys and girls, you are now tuned in to a brand new video of Sportsway with Dre Day podcast. I am your host with the most, the Hood's ESPN, Crystal Street's very own, Dre Day. What's up? What's up? What's up? Once again, thank y'all for y'all continued support of the podcast. Keep it going, keep it growing, keep it flowing. If you haven't already, it's right there on the bottom of the screen. Subscribe to the channel, Sportsway with Dre Day podcast. Also, hit that notification bell so that way, once a video is uploaded to YouTube, you will get a notification letting you know that I dropped a new video. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend, all that good stuff. This video here, this is going to be a long one. I was supposed to do a live yesterday, but it fell through the cracks. I was supposed to do it again today. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. So I said, you know what? We're going to twist it around, and I'm just going to put everything into one. I'm going to put everything into one. And as you can see with the thumbnail, I have the NFL logo and I have the Unrivaled logo. So that's what this is going to be about. I'm going to try my best to try to have this a little over a half hour. I don't want to go. I don't want to go any longer than that. The longest I want to go is about 45 minutes. That's about it. So, vibe with me here. That's all I want y'all to do is vibe with me. It's gonna be dope. So just vibe with your boy. With that being said, the NFL playoffs have started. We are now separating the pretenders from the contenders, and the NFL playoffs have started. And we've had, I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4. We've had 5 games so far. And I'm 4-1 with my picks this weekend. Okay. The first game was the Rams and the Panthers. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I picked the Rams to win this game, but I was very, very surprised at how well the Carolina Panthers played. Very surprised. I actually thought that it was going to be a blowout. I thought this game was going to be one of these games this weekend where the Rams are just too experienced. Carolina isn't. They shouldn't have had a home game for having a losing record, and the Rams were just going to go in there and run shop. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. They almost lost this game, so I definitely want to give the Panthers their props. I definitely want to give them their respects. Yeah, that's all I could base. That's all I could say. They definitely had their chance to win this game. They lost by 3. I don't do the moral victory thing, but I know there's some people in the sports world that do. The Panthers could take this loss and they could feed it into next year to get ready for next year and have a better season next year with Bryce Young, because you got to remember Bryce Young wasn't looking too good at the beginning of the year. Got benched, came back, played very well, and now look, he put them in a position to where they were in the playoffs, and they almost beat one of the teams that a lot of people view as a favorite to possibly go to the Super Bowl. So, yes, again, shout out to Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers. But again, the Rams, they showed that they showed their experience. Obviously, Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay as the head coach, Devontae Adams. He took he took a very, very hard hit in this game. Puka missed a touchdown that he usually makes on average, but nonetheless, they wound up winning the game. I believe Bryce Young threw a pick to end the game, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the case. But yeah, The Rams pulled it off, so congrats to them, and they move on to the next round. I'll get into the particulars for what's going to happen with the divisional round at the end of this. But yeah, so that's the first game. Second game, we had the Bears and the Packers. Now this is just me. I picked the Bears to win this game only because Micah Parsons was out for this game. Now, obviously, we all know he tore his ACL a few weekends ago. I think it was against the Broncos, if I'm not mistaken. And once that happened, I knew Green Bay was in trouble. And I think at that time, they might have had already clinched a playoff berth. So they was basically sitting on house money because they was going to the playoffs regardless. I think they was still trying to get the division, but they was going to the playoffs regardless. But once he got hurt, I was like, yeah, they're not going very far. And then once we found out who they was playing in the playoffs, I was like, yeah, they're not going to beat the Chicago Bears. And again, the Chicago Bears has been one of those teams that when it comes to playoff success, especially in these past few years, they really don't have much. And at the beginning of this game, that's exactly what it looked like. Like, I think Green Bay had a 21-0 lead to start the game, if I'm not mistaken. They had an 18-point lead. The Bears was trailing 18 points and wound up coming back to win this game. So you gotta salute the Bears. You got to. I'm not gonna say I'm not sold on Caleb Williams, but I will say this. I was very much impressed in how he played in that game. Very much. I wish he wouldn't have his fingernails painted, but that's neither here nor there. But for the most part, I was very much impressed with how he played, especially when they was down 18 points, because usually in situations like that, teams would be down that much and then they just say the hell with it. But for them to be home at the crib, and I believe the Bears were the second seed, if I'm not mistaken. So for them to be the second seed, have their little jitters at first, and then to wind up come back and win that game against the division rivals, which is the Green Bay Packers, and you do it in front of your fans, got to give them salute. You got to give them props for that. You got to give them respect for that. Listen, a lot of these coaches and quarterbacks, a lot of them, their legacies have taken turns this playoffs, and they're not for the good. It's for the bad. This is a situation here where we look at Jordan Love. We all know he was the successor to Aaron Rodgers after he left, and ever since he's been there at the helm of the quarterback position for the Packers, he has done nothing. Matt LaFleur has had so many chances, so many opportunities to do something as a head coach for the Green Bay Packers, and he has come up empty-handed, and this is another case right here. Is it time that maybe the Green Bay Packers find a new head coach? Who knows? Who knows? Just something to think about. Ben Johnson, his first playoff game as the head coach for the Chicago Bears. Salute to him. Salute to him. Salute to Caleb Williams. Salute to DJ Moore and the Chicago Bears. I know the city of Chicago was electric last night after winning that game. I know it was electric. But don't listen. There's still more football to play. Granted, you beat your division rivals, your hated rivals, the Green Bay Packers. And what was it? I think what was it? I think I seen a clip on Instagram where Caleb Williams and a couple of players from the Bears, they sat at the table where Clarissa Thompson and Richard Sherman and Tony Gonzalez and Ryan Fitzpatrick, because the game was on Prime Video. They basically had they what is those things called where you blend the cheese and you cut the cheese or whatever? Like, it's not a knife, it's some other shit. But basically, that's what they was doing. And obviously, if you're a Packers fan or if you follow football, you know Green Bay is home of the cheese, and they was basically mocking the Packers for beating them. So listen, I love the banter. I do. I love it, because if the roles were reversed, I'm quite sure Green Bay would have did the same thing. But listen, execution is that simple. Miscues. Because what was it? I think it was a delay of game. I think it was, yeah. For me, the turning point for this game was that delay of game in the fourth quarter. Because had you not had that delay of game, there was a field goal on that drive that Green Bay kicked that was no good. Now, had you not pushed yourself 5 yards back, maybe that field goal would have went well. Maybe Green Bay would have won this game. Who knows? But again, you got to salute Chicago. They showed up in the clutch where it mattered the most. So you got to salute them for that. So you can't take that victory away from them. They went out there and they got it. So salute to them for that. Much respect to them for that. The next game, the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this was a game where I picked Buffalo, but my whole thing with Buffalo is this, and I've said this, I want to say, since the playoffs started, especially when Patrick Mahomes was eliminated from playoff contention. My mindset is there's no excuse for the Buffalo Bills to not get to the Super Bowl. There's no excuse. I've had conversations with people about this. I've posted it on my social media pages and had exchanges with people, but there is no excuse for the Buffalo Bills to not get to the Super Bowl. The reason being is because their kryptonite is not in the Super Bowl. Their kryptonite is not in the playoffs, and that would be the Kansas City Chiefs. Because for all of these years, dating back to, I want to say, 2019, 2020? What year was it? It was a year where the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills played in the AFC Championship game. That might have been the same year the Chiefs played the Bucks in the Super Bowl. Ever since then, in order for the Bills to even try to get to the Super Bowl, they had to go through Kansas City. It was one year they went through Cincinnati, and they lost that game. And the reason why I remember that game so well, it's not something I want to remember, but my mom was in the hospital. And I was, in the hospital watching that game, and the Cincinnati Bengals went to Buffalo and beat them. But the point is that every other year, in order for Buffalo to try to get to the Super Bowl, they lost to Kansas City. We all remember that classic game. I think it was the divisional series where they basically exchanged points in 13 seconds. Both teams. Amazing drive. Amazing game. But yeah, there's no excuse for Buffalo to not get to the Super Bowl. And they struggled with this game. You can make a case that Jacksonville could have won this game had it not been for Trevor Lawrence's turnovers, had it not been missed field goals, had it not been going for a fourth down, going for it on 4th and 2, and Trevor Lawrence's knee hits the floor before he crosses the line, and now it's not a first down. They tried to call it a first down, but McDermott, the Bills coach, challenged it, and then it was overturned. So there was a lot of miscues in this game from the Jags to why they lost this game. I will give Josh Allen his props. He definitely won this game for Buffalo. I will give him his props. But at the end of the day, it's like I just said, there's no excuse for Buffalo to not get to the Super Bowl. Your kryptonite is not there. He's not there. So for me, this is like this right here. This is it. Remember that album from Michael Jackson? This is it. This is it for Buffalo. If they don't win the Super, I'm not even saying win the Super Bowl. I'm just saying you got to get there. If they don't get to the Super Bowl this year, that window is officially closed in Buffalo. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Now, let's get to the Eagles and Niners. Salute to Robert Saleh, who is the 49ers defensive coordinator. He was their coordinator a few years ago, then wound up getting the Jets job, got fired from there, I think took a year off, and then bam, came back to being the Niners coordinator, defensive coordinator. The job that the Niners did with containing Jalen Hurts, and AJ Brown for that matter, which I'm going to get into. I'm going to get into him, very soon. They made sure Philly didn't do nothing deep in the air. Nothing. And even when they tried, they were unsuccessful. That Niners defense was very, very elite against the Eagles. Brock Purdy damn near blew this game for Philly. 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions he threw. But here's the thing. Those 2 turnovers, the Eagles didn't capitalize off of them. And especially when it come playoff time, if you get rewarded a turnover, you got to capitalize off that. Primarily a touchdown, because sometimes field goals don't do it. Sometimes you need a touchdown. And in both situations, nothing came out of them. Now let's get to AJ Brown. I think he's gone. It would not surprise me that before this NFL season is over, it would not surprise me that he asks for a trade out of Philly. Now, obviously, earlier this season, it was a lot of drama between him and Jalen Hurts. There was a problem with them. It was a problem with the offensive coordinator of him not getting the ball, yada, 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 right? There were situations in this game where you could have showed why you were supposed to be the number 1 receiver of this team, and you dropped the pass. One in particular, what was it? I think it was it was either second or third down. A simple slant pass. Right down the middle. Right in his hands. And he dropped it. And then to add insult to injury, after the loss, he didn't even speak to the media. Now, when that happens, I'm quite sure I'm quite sure that front office in Philly is not going to like that. So again, it would not surprise me at all that he asked for a trade sometime very soon. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And me personally, I'm all for it. Because I don't know what it is. Him and Jalen Hurts just don't mesh together. They just don't. They don't. Me personally, I prefer Devontae Smith over him anyway, because Devontae Smith just goes out there and get it. He don't huff and puff. He don't complain. He don't do nothing. He just go out there and play. So for me, I'd rather Devontae Smith as my number 1 receiver. The days of the diva shit is over. The last diva we had was Odell, and look how that turned out. We got another one now with AJ Brown. So yeah, Philly, yeah. He needs to go. He needs to go. And if I was Philly, if I was the Eagles, I would very much be out there looking at teams and seeing what players can I bring over here and what future draft picks I can bring over here, because that's somebody that you need to get out of your locker room. Me personally, I said they wasn't going to the Super Bowl. I just didn't think they would get bumped in the wild card round. I knew they was going. Listen, I knew they was going to the playoffs. I just wasn't with that train of, oh yeah, they going back to the Super Bowl. No. I didn't think that at all. Especially with all that drama that was going on early in the season. Yeah, I been knew they wasn't going back to the playoff. I mean, I been knew they wasn't going back to the big game. And now it's official now because they lost. So shout out to the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey, stud, man, stud. When that boy is healthy, he is the real deal. Well wishes to George Kittle. It is reported that he has a torn Achilles. So I guess it's safe to say that he probably won't be playing next year, unfortunately. So well wishes to George Kittle. Caught a brain freeze. The last game, the Patriots and the Chargers. I'm just going to say salute to the Patriots defense. They kept the Chargers with only 3 points. I think they had about 5 or 6 sacks on Justin Herbert. I believe he lost. I think he committed 2 fumbles, if I'm not mistaken. Drake May didn't play his best game. But again, like I said, the defense for the Patriots is what won this game for them. So I'm going to salute the Patriots defense. Justin Herbert. I don't want to hear no more talk about Justin Herbert. When you talk about players that are overrated, he is one of them. He is very much one of them. He was hyped up as soon as he came into the league. Like they was literally trying to put him in that second tier of quarterbacks. Because of course it was Mahomes, Lamar, Joe Burrow. I'm trying to think who was because the top tier was Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. That was like the big 4. That was like the Fantastic 4. Then that next tier, they was trying to throw your boy Justin Herbert in there. He has been to the playoffs 3 times, and in all 3 performances, he has played horrible. Overrated. He has now become the James Harden of postseason play. First of all, I wasn't that much of a believer in him during the regular season. So once playoffs started, I didn't expect much from the Chargers at all. So this loss doesn't surprise me. I'm just surprised they only got 3 points. Like, that's the part I'm shocked with. I didn't have them winning this game. I was just shocked that they only got 3 points. So out of all the games this weekend, the nightcap game was the one that was the worst because, like, for the most part, it was a defensive game. The Patriots' defense is what won this game, not Drake May. Now, he did make some key plays in the 4th quarter. I'll give him that. Some key throws. I give him that. But like I said, that Patriots defense and the way they was putting pressure on Justin Herbert and making him commit turnovers, that's what won them this game. That's what won them this game. So salute to the Patriots for that. Salute to Mike Vrabel for that. And yeah, there you have it for the wild card round. So now let's get to the divisional round, because after the game, they just announced what the games was going to be for next weekend. They don't have the time slots yet, but the games are basically X'd in stone. Now, yes, there is another game tomorrow, Monday Night Football. The Steelers and Texans. Whoever wins that game is going to Foxborough. Whoever wins that game, because being that Buffalo was the 6th seed, being that there was the 6th seed, the lowest seed that advances in the next round plays the number 1 seed. So being that Buffalo was the number 6 seed, they now have to go to Denver to play in that altitude against the Denver Broncos. So whoever wins tomorrow with the Texans and Steelers, they got a date to go to Foxborough to play the New England Patriots. And then on the NFC side, you have the Chicago Bears hosting the Los Angeles Rams. And then you have another rematch with the 49ers and the Seahawks. Because what was it? I think it was 2 weekends ago, if I'm not mistaken, where the Niners and the Seahawks played. And it was crazy because that game right there was to decide who gets the number 1 seed. Seahawks won that game. And it was in San Francisco. So now this game is in Seattle. Does the 49ers get their revenge? We shall see. I can't give my prediction yet. I can't give my prediction yet. When all the divisional round games is X'd in stone, then I can give my division. Then I can give my prediction. I can't give it yet. Can't give it yet. But listen, 5 games. I was 4-1 with my picks. So I'm very much impressed and happy how everything turned out with the NFL games this weekend. So let's give a round of applause to the games this past weekend. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, let's get to my favorite part of the show. We're going to lick some shots. We're going to lick some shots. Lick them. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka. Light them up. Light them up. Unrivaled. If you don't know what Unrivaled is, it is a 3-on-3 tournament from women who play in the WNBA. And I just did a video last week talking about, the 8 teams, because before it was 6 teams. Now it's 8 teams. And I want to say this past weekend basically penciled in the first full week of Unrivaled for the 2nd season. And I must say, it's been very impressive. Very impressed. These games have been amazing. Now, yes, some games have been blowouts. Yes. But just the play has been amazing. And listen, my MVP right now is Chelsea Gray. Chelsea, the point guard herself, is the MVP right now to start this season. To start this young season. Because again, it's only 2 games. I believe it's only 2 or 3 games. Because again, they only play on Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's only 4 days out the week that they play. But Chelsea Gray is on a tear to start this season. And 3 games. Killing it. Today, dropped 35 points. 35. No. 37. I'm sorry. 7 for 9 from the 3-point line. 4 for 7 the second night, and then on the opening night, 5 for 10 from the 3-point line. The Roses, the defending champs, the reigning defending champs, the team that she's on, are undefeated. They just beat Breeze Basketball Club, which Paige Buckets is on. Dominique Malonga is on that team. Rakia Jackson is on that team. Kate Martin is on that team. Great game. Amazing game. Loved it. Loved it. The Phantom, the basketball club, they're doing their thing. Aaliyah Boston showing out. Kelsey Plum killing it right now. Kiki Arafin doing her thing. The Mist. I can't really speak much on the Mist. Some like their games I haven't caught any of their games, so I can't really speak on their games. But the Hive, that new club, Hive. I don't think they have any wins yet, but I respect the hard work. Sanaya Rivers has been killing it on defense, leading Unrivaled in blocks so far. She's short, but she a dog when it comes to defense. Dog when it comes to defense. Kelsey Mitchell is Kelsey Mitchell. Sonia Cintron is doing her thing, no doubt. I'm trying to think of some other teams. Vinyl. I like the Vinyl team. De'Erica Hamby just dropped a 40-piece tonight. Who they played? No, it was against the Mist. The Mist. No, not the Mist. Pardon itself. The Hive dropped 40 on them. Just amazing basketball that's being displayed right now in Unrivaled. I do feel bad for the Lunau Owls. I do feel bad for them because, listen, Nafisa Kalia, it was already announced that she's not playing this season. She had to have surgery on both her ankles, and they said she was going to be out for about, I think it was 4 to 6 months, some shit like that. But basically, she's out for the season. And if it's a WNBA season, she might not even be ready for that. But she's definitely not playing in Unrivaled. So you already got that going on. Skylar Diggins is injured. She's not playing as of yet. That didn't stop her from being at the Golden Globes, though. And she killed it on that red carpet, I might say so myself. But yes, I feel sorry for the Lunau Owls. And there's two people in particular I feel sorry for. And those two people are Marina Mabry, the crash out queen herself, and Aaliyah Edwards. Because it's only them two that are holding that team down. Rebecca Allen and Rachel Banham are playing absolute garbage and Unrivaled. Now, what's so crazy about this is when they played for the Chicago Sky, they played the same way. And there was a rumor out there that how Angel Reese supposedly called out some players and talked about their lack of play. And you get to see how these two was playing. I guess Angel Reese was on to something when she said what she said, allegedly. Yeah, because them two, they like I honestly don't understand why they even in Unrivaled. Like, I get it. You want the, I get it. You want to play basketball. You don't want to go overseas. You don't want to hold out. You don't want to, keep your fingers crossed for a WNBA season. But Unrivaled is not for everybody. I hate to break it to everybody, but Unrivaled is not for everybody. Everybody is not fully equipped for Unrivaled. And them two young women is case in point. They do not belong in Unrivaled. Respectfully. They don't. So yes, Marina Mabry and Aaliyah Edwards, I feel bad for them. I'm quite sure they on hands and knees praying that Skylar Diggins returns soon. So that maybe they'll get some help because they ain't getting it from them other two girls. They're not getting it from them at all. So yes, I definitely feel bad for Marina Mabry and Aaliyah Edwards. But shout out to Unrivaled. I am enjoying what I'm seeing so far. The first full week has been nothing but amazing. I look forward to what else happens down the tailpipe. So round of applause. Gotta give round of applause. Give it up for the ladies. Give it up for the ladies. But it's time to go. I said that I was trying to make this a little over a half hour or a little before 45 minutes. I want to be true to that. Besides, I want to have my bowl of cereal before I relax and go to bed. So again, thank y'all for y'all continued support of the podcast. Keep it going, keep it growing, keep it flowing. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also hit that notification bell so that way once a video is uploaded to YouTube, you will get a notification letting you know that I dropped a new video. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment if you want, tell a friend, all that good stuff. In closing, y'all know how this goes. This has been another video of Sportsway with Dre Day podcast. Catch you on the flip side. God bless. Peace and love. Your boy is out of here.